Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. I'm out at one of my many favorite spots, doing a little fishing today. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm going to be testing a couple of jigs today, dragging them around, maybe throw some other stuff. My typical deal when I go out fishing. The story to tell is, what lures am I going to test and how am I going to catch them? Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name's Alan. I appreciate all the support. And I hope you guys have a happy new year and everything, all your goals and everything you have set out for 2025 are accomplished. It's always exciting to kick off a new year. All right, guys. On the jig, pitching along these brush piles on this custom bait caster, this custom XP from Lose. Well, I felt a couple of thumps down there and I was like, I think I got a fish. There we go. Let's check him out. Boy, that's a good fish right there. Ooh. All right, guys, there we go. For the release. There you go, buddy. Oh, he zips off back to the brush pile. It's that same brush pile stuff where I fished before. Let me show you the jig. Oh, this dirt and this mud. This guy right here with a little Maxcent crawl on the back of it. Just dragging it along. All right, guys, take a look at this. This is a jig from Justin Lucas right here. And I was just pitching it where that big brush pile is, bringing it real slow. I had some thumps earlier and I was like, it must be smaller fish playing with it, because it was just like dung, 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 and nothing was happening. And then on this one, I pulled it just a little bit and all of a sudden I saw my line going and I knew I had him. So with these jigs, with it being like today it's 40, the water temperature is like mid 50s, I just let it lay there for a little bit and then I'll slowly pull it. Just drag it a little bit and then stop. And I'll keep doing that. But this, I was using this custom XP from Lose, and this one's on a Falcon 6.8. Anything 6.9, 6.8 is right in my wheelhouse. Ooh, do I have something there? Pull it just a little. If you get hung up on something, pause it and then just kind of feel and check. What does Brian Thrift always say? It's like counting rocks. And for the trailer, I was using that Berkley Maxcent. I don't know what they call that thing, a chigger crawl maybe. I remember back in August and September, I left one out there on my patio for like 3 weeks to see if it would have any effect, being in the sun, the wind, and it was just fine. It dried out just a little bit, but it was still in good shape. I hate to get on that dock, guys, but there's some bigger brush piles out there, so I may throw out towards them and just very quietly, hopefully not to thunder around on that dock, see if I can lure some in. Once in a while I'll give it like a little hop, but for the most part I just drag it. Give it some shakes. That's a good thing, guys, about being patient and dragging a jig. There's a beaver working the shoreline over there. He's just swimming along. So I'm just barely cranking my reel and just pulling this slowly on the bottom. He's going back to where he came from. He went all the way down there, now he's coming back. The water's not deep at all over there. It's like maybe a foot. Let's see what he does there. He likes that big tree. He swam past a tree. Is he gonna come over here? Now he's going back the other way. There he is. He's getting out of the water. The beaver down here aren't really as thick and furry as they are up like in northeast Iowa and up in the Midwest. Oh look, he's gnawing on a branch. There he goes. Yeah, look at his tail, he's slinking around. Now he's going up into the woods. Ah, that's pretty cool. Alright guys, I hate getting on this dock, but there's some big brush piles out here for crappie that I want to drag this jig around. And then if I don't like this, then I'll go back on shore, and then I can keep going back and forth until, you know, I get what I want to get in terms of my little plan mapped out. But for now, I'm just going to be working these jigs along these brush piles. This first one I'm using is this Justin Lucas, and man, the sensitivity is really nice. I can feel it when it's bumping along down there. Like if I hit a little piece of wood or a rock, I pause it, then I bring it over. And these squirrels keep going bananas in the forest over there. I wonder if something's bugging them. Maybe like a little bobcat or a or like a coyote. I have a pretty solid idea where the brush piles are. I just got to try to move this real slow as I'm going through them. Here we go, guys, a real subtle bite out by that jig pile. Out by that brush pile on the jig. Just real subtle, just a dit, 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 and I can see the line move. I got 12-pound sunline on this. Ooh, he's trying to dig under the dock there. Man, that's a good fish right there. Easy, fella. Easy, fella. Let's go. There we go. Boy, that's a nice hog right there. Nicely hooked. Yeah, he wouldn't go. But it's a big old boy right here. Check that out. Man, that is big. That's a nice fish. I hate to have him out in this wind, but I want to measure him. And of course, I can't find my stuff. All right, buddy. Let's see what you go here. $19. Ooh. $19. There we go. Check that guy out. All right, here you go for the release. Yeah, he went right under the dock. All right, let me show you this jig. It's just Justin Lucas. Look at that, the trailer. He just destroyed it. It was at Berkeley Maxent. All right, so the dock situation paid off, hitting those bigger brush piles out there. We're gonna give the jig a little bit of a break because I want to try something else out here. I'm gonna throw something a little more substantial in terms of action. We're gonna try the Smithwick Rogue. All right, guys, here we go. Old school gold, but in the Frank Scalish paint scheme. Cast like a dream. You can get these at LureNet. They just came out. Ooh. They just came out last month. So with this, I sweep it down there, then I just shake it because it'll suspend. And then I count to like maybe 15, 20 seconds, and I'd give it a quick pop. That's all you need, is just a quick little pop, or 2, 3 pops. And just kind of let it sit there, then I shake it. And the thing with the Rogue is it doesn't take much to get it to do its wobble. Especially around all these brush piles that are out here. Get this thing hanging above it or near it. There we go. Alright guys, this is one of my experiments. It worked. You'll see it. You might have seen it in one of the other videos. You may see it again. I've just got a craw on a skirtless jig, and I just drag it. Oh, and this thing, it's weedless, but shouldn't be getting hung up in these brush piles. There we go. We'll let some line out here. So it's just a craw. I think this one's one of these Denny Brower craws. It may be a karate craw. I'll have to look at it again, from Lunker City, but let me take a look here. Oh yeah, this is one of the Denny Browers, but see, there's no skirt on it. And I just drag that jig, and man, I've had a ton of bites doing that before. We're gonna go straight out there. So I keep practicing with it and dragging it. Same deal with like you would with the skirted one. Just let it sit there and just barely move it. You just got to be real patient. That's how I've got the one so far today. Nothing on the Smithwick. An old timer showed up here and was crappie fishing off the dock. He only stayed a few minutes. He got a couple of snags and he was like, I'm out. So I'll go back to the Rogue here in a few minutes. I didn't want to make too much movement because, you know, he was trying to fish right along the docks, and when I'm casting with the Rogue over and over, it just, I don't like the vibrations going down into the water. Come on, right in here, there should be one. I caught one here the other day, right in here in this corner. But that was on a Ned rig. Alright guys, we're down along the little highway here, working the Smithwick. I was over at the dock for quite a while, gave it a good shot, gave it a good run. Oops, I got this hung up somehow. Threw some crappie stuff, threw the jig again, went to the picnic table over here and bounced that. The craw with the skirtless craw, nothing. So I'm gonna throw this for a little bit. And hopefully we'll connect with something. This has got that steep drop off. Out there it's like 13 feet deep. Gradually it gets down there. Gosh, I love this lure. These rogues, they're just so good. What is that up there? American pelicans buzzing around. See them way up there? So peaceful out here. I know there's fish working the bank, lurking in here. I just gotta get one. Yeah, the wind is out of the north. We had a little cool front come through. Well, I was reading the weather that said here in a week or two we're gonna get one massive cold stretch. Ooh. One of those big Armageddon Arctic blasts or bomb cyclones. We'll see, we'll see. And then here, pre-spawn starts hitting back half of February here in North Texas. Oh, there's a huge fish just jumped right at the dock over there, and of course I'm not there now. Yeah, when nobody's around on that dock, I think the fish like to congregate there because there's no vibrations, nobody's stomping around. I always say that pretty much in every video where I'm out here, but we'll go back and work that dock again from the shoreline. But I love throwing this rogue. I gotta give it its day on the water. And the thing casts a country mile. You get these weird knocks where people are like, oh man, it doesn't cast and this and that. Maybe the old school ones might have had a little bit of issue, but I've never experienced any of that. But then people get mad at me because I always say that Mega Bass, the 110 has got durability issues, and man, it has for me. But then you'll have other people that say they never have durability issues. Kind of like me with the scope stick. I never have any trouble with the Bill Lewis scope stick with durability. Did a bunch of jerk baits, guys. I got the Mega Bass 110 on here. What is that? Fishing line? I'm stuck, keep getting stuck on that right there. So I've been making my way up and down the fish highway, as I call it. Hadn't had any luck. Threw the crankbait for the lipless crankbait for a little bit. Didn't have any luck either. I was doing my typical pause, let it sit there like I was doing in my other videos, and just nothing. It is so peaceful out here. The next thing I'm going to do is the old Ned rig. Oh, it's a stick that's down there that I kept getting hung up on. All right, let's get the Ned rig loaded up and on the other rod, and we'll get moving. All right, guys, nothing going on here. Back at the dock scene, throwing a Ned rig from RoboWorm. Just been pitching it around. There's been some splashes on the other side, and I went over there and pitched, nothing doing. So that's what I'm using right there. I try to swim it. I try to do like the Ned Katie formula, where the pop and glide. But a lot of times I just bounce it along there, because in the winter they'll swim over it, just look at it. You give it a nice twitch and then bang, they get it. So I'm just kind of letting it sit there and twitch it a little. All it takes is one to be hungry enough and curious enough to pop it. I got some Procure on there too. All right, guys, it's gonna wrap it up for me for today. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.